subscribe. I know you want to subscribe.
Alright people, we are going to begin a new ammunition test. Alright, you know, we already got an ammunition test, 22 long rifle with the Federal Target gold medal right there, okay? And we just done one recently with the Aguila. This says super extra high velocity. Now I found out through testing that this wasn't exactly super extra high velocity. It was more or less like standard velocity, okay? So now I'm curious to see these Aguilas, the 22 super extra standard velocity. Let's get that where you can see it. Super extra standard velocity instead of high velocity. I'm just wondering if this is still going to be pretty much standard velocity, or is this going to be slower than the other ones. Okay, now we're just going to begin this here by comparing it with I got my rifle here loaded up, Marlin Model 60, with some Federal Auto Match. Now, most of y'all are familiar with that, so let's begin. We're just going to aim down here, and like I say, we're shooting at about 120 yards. Now we're at a different range than we was on the last testing videos, okay? So we'll start off with some auto match here, and I want to compare the droppage. That's how I can tell if it's got a good feet per second or not, you know what I'm saying? So let's shoot 4 of these. The auto match. Now I have to aim, like I say, a good 6 to 8 inches above the target. 2-inch dot. We'll leave it at 3. Take a walk down there and see what it looks like. I'm curious to see about that. And once again, these are auto match I'm using here. We're using that as a comparison, as a base to compare these two. Like I say, the ones we're doing the test on. Super extra standard velocity Aguilas. Alright people, I went down there and took a look, and I was hitting a little high because I hadn't been shooting well anyway, practicing with the 22 rifles in quite a little while, so I'm going to bring it down just a little bit, you know. I can already get a feel for kind of how I need to do it, so we're going to shoot that last one, okay, of the auto match. Now this is just a base to see kind of how the other compares to it, if you kind of get what I'm saying, okay. Let's take our little last shot here. Could have possibly still been a little high, but once again, this is for a base here, okay? Alright. Now, let's go down here and take a little look so I can kind of compare that, and then we'll compare the Aguila that we're actually doing the test with, and then we'll move on to some reliability tests and stuff like that with this ammunition here later on in the video, so stay tuned. Alright people, so you gotta ignore these bigger holes here. That's where I was shooting a different caliber rifle earlier. Just sighting in a scope, you know what I'm saying? These are the 22 holes, so I learned to bring it down a little bit. I hadn't been shooting in a while with them, but now this is a base here, okay? It's a base to see what the Aguila super extra standard velocity are doing. Those are the first 2 I shot. It's too high, you know, and then I came down, took a look, told you I was gonna finish off the other one, and I actually pulled a little right on it, but yeah, that's fine. Now we see, and I remember on the scope what's doing what with the auto match. So let's compare with the Aguila. Let's get started with the Aguila. Standard velocity, super extra standard velocity. I don't know what is with them and that super extra in there. They like to throw that in there, but let's test it out. It's alright, people. We put us a fresh 2-inch orange dot down there. You know, pull out the good old magazine tube there. Anyway, we're going to load us 4 up in here and start off with that. Kind of do it how we done the last. Using it as a comparison, like I say. Figure I'd get this part on tape, because not a lot of people are shooting Marlin Model 60s on YouTube right now. Alright, let's get started. Alright people, so I'm going to aim exactly how I aimed when I figured out how it needed to be aimed, the auto match. And we're going to see if this hits lower or higher. And that's kind of going to give us a general on velocity there. Because I know a lot of y'all are familiar with auto match, once again. So, alright. Here goes the Aguila Super Extra standard velocity. The blue box here. Alright. Tell you what, just right off the bat, compared to the other, sounds way lower. It's way lower sound, so I can already tell you, you know, it's not a really beefed up. We'll go ahead and take one more. Damn, that's powdered sweet as hell there, people. If y'all ain't familiar with Aguila, their powder is like very, very sweet smelling, okay? So don't think something's crazy going on when you smell that smell. We're gonna give it one more little shot here. See how we're comparing to the other. Alright, let's go take a look. We won't waste that 4th shot. Never know when next president gets in. Might can't get no damn bullets, might need to conserve. So let's go down there and take a look. Kind of see how it's comparing out. Well people, there was our first dot, if you'll remember, with the auto match. That's what we was using for a base. I was having to aim at least 8 to 10 inches above to get it to level out here. Of course those were too high, but cancel them out. This is when I had it figured out. That hole, that hole. Ignore the bigger holes once again. Now I told you I put a fresh dot down here, and I aimed exactly how I aimed with the auto match, okay, with this hole and this hole. So as you can tell, closest one I got was like, oh my god, 4 inches below it. So I'm gonna go ahead and warn you. And there was another one right there. I only shot 3 times, and I think that was another one. They were hitting here, here, and here. Do you see the difference in velocity there? I'm pretty sure you do. So, right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that the ones I'm testing out now, Aguila Super Extra standard velocity, is lower powered than the Super Extra high velocity. And most of you will probably say, duh. Okay, but when I bought the Super Extra high velocity, I thought I was really getting some super extra high velocity, okay? Turns out it was just about like that federal gold medal target, okay? Which I've done a review on that as well. But I mean, it's functioning well so far, so I'm gonna go up here, play with it a couple more times, shoot it, you know, start our kind of reliability thing, which we already have. We already shot 3 shots out of that, but we're gonna run it through a pistol, a couple of the different types of rifles, and see what happens. And maybe even a little penetration type of test too, to go along with that.